off picture.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Lupus Talk. My name is Ed Peterson. I am just basically the program director here for the show, um, where we be sharing tools and tips and information that's relevant to lupus patients, and as well as giving some insights to people who know those who are suffering from lupus. This is also May the 13th, 2025, where it's Lupus Awareness Month. And we're going to be having some great topics and great information to be sharing today. So you guys can take copious notes. And again, you can always go to the website if you have any questions or inquiries at lupusnevada.org. And you can also go to the YouTube channel, which we have. It's going to be at Lupus of Nevada. So we're going to be talking more about with the topic today, Dr. Calvin Williams, Mr. Lois Olson. The two dynamic duos will be sharing today, and I'm super excited. It's a beautiful day to learn and to educate and to help as many as we can in our communities in reference to lupus awareness. So thank you, Dr. Williams, and you can take it away.
Thank you. I'm sorry you guys aren't able to see me. I didn't really sit with this lupus. I haven't had it this bad since I was diagnosed. So bones hurt, can't hardly move, foggy. I'm doing this. That's why my picture's not on there. It's hot, cold, hives, just a lot of things that's irritable. So the doctors, my new doctors, I get to see this week and next week. I saw my main doctor, but I just had the virus, and it's just a big mess. So enough about me. I'm glad you joined us. Please don't forget to follow and like, because we need your help in continuing with this educational program that's on right now. Hi, Dolores. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed, regardless how I feel.
Good. And I know Ed's okay, right? Guess he is. Okay. I'm going to start by talking about with this flare-up that I'm having now. I'm going to say lupus is active. The body's immune system attacks healthy tissue, leading to inflammation and fatigue. And that's what's going on with me now. I have so much fatigue, like I sit in a chair and I doze off to sleep or something, or I get up to do something and I have lack of energy. And I've taken that B12 for energy. So, I've been taking that. So I guess the only thing I can do is just let it wear out. I prioritize my rest. I get adequate sleep. It's crucial for managing fatigue. I manage my stress by staying off that phone and just relaxing. So I want to say the fatigue and the emotional and the moodiness, it all comes together. I've got some medication for the moodiness, but you just want to be left alone. You want to be in your own world. You're not trying to close the door on family and friends, but you just have to deal with your body your way through Christ Jesus. Now, I want to get into also, I just actually found this that we talked about years ago, and it's how to talk to your doctors when they don't listen. I think that is very important. Now, picture this. You're in the room, that tiny one with the examination table, the sink, the little chair, the fluorescent light, your doctor running late finally pops through the door. Quick pleasantries and exchange, and then it's down to business. You explain why you're there. You go over your symptoms already. You feel like you're off to the races, and you're probably right. You are probably right, but research says you get only seconds to talk to your doctor before he jumps in with a word, and that's so true. He cuts you off. Bam, you cut off. And then you forget what you're, going to say. Now, that's some doctors. My doctor at least listens to me, the new one. It seems so scripted. Does the doctor even hear what you're saying? That's what goes on in my mind, when things like that happen. Not all visits are like this, but of course, many are. Studies show most complaints about doctors don't have anything to do with their medical skills. It's mostly about their poor communication. And that is so true. They said a recent study found that 75% of doctors believe that they communicate satisfactorily with those in their care. Only 21% of people treated by those doctors said that their talks went well. Somewhere there's a disconnect, y'all. Somewhere there is a disconnect, because that can be devastating. The more you and your doctor talk with each other, really, really talk, the better the chance you'll feel better, because you'll be able to be calm with him and be able to tell him, look, this is what's happening, rather than to be all bound up and scared and don't know what he's going to say or whatever from the test that you've taken. It's always, I always tell, um, my doctor will always tell the patients that we're a team. That's what we've learned. It's you and me working together for a betterment of your health. And that's the kind of doctor you want. We got to work this together, and that's what you have to do. And when you do's and don'ts of an effective doctor-patient communication, your choice of words matter, people. Here's what to say to patients and what not to say. The doctor's ability to explain, listen, emphasize has a profound impact on a patient's care, stated the New York Times. Yet the Times found that a startling 2 out of every 3 patients are discharged from the hospital without even knowing their diagnosis. And many of our people did that, just walked up out of there. They didn't know, they didn't get any information. And that 60% of patients misunderstood their doctor's instructions after a visit. Now, the words you do or don't use the exam room can have a big impact on your patient education, engagement, and satisfaction. Now, let me tell you, the doctors nowadays, which I notice at my doctor, he'll give me the information we talked about. He'll have his assistant type it up, and I walk out with everything he said to me. That might be, I think that's a new procedure, but it's an excellent one for me, because I can go home and read it, That's what's important, because there's so much fear going to the doctors, because you feel that they don't show any empathy, you feel that they turn their backs on their patients, because they've got another patient coming on. Do consider your patient education method. Do that. Don't use jargon, because he's going to, you get up there and you start talking, oh, I have inflammation of the chest cavity. He's going to look at you, even though you read about it, he's going to look at you and say, okay, how did you get there? And I let him know, because I have pleurisy in my chest. You have to ask, you have to address questions. You have to ask questions to your doctors, and don't dismiss patients' concerns. Doctors shouldn't do that, because that will make them even more angry and they don't know what to do. Again, like I said, I am suffering from fatigue, from joint pain, and those are the symptoms of our lupus, fever over 100 degrees. I don't have that. Prolonged or extreme fatigue, I have that. Swollen joints, I have that. Arthritis, skin rashes, anemia, pain in the chest on deep breathing, butterfly-shaped rash. I really don't have that, but sun or light sensitivity, I do. So these are the things I wanted to bring to your attention. I'm going to move you over to Dolores right now, because I'm kind of getting fatigued. So Dolores, take it away.
All right, hello everybody. Thank you for you guys all for coming through on this educational platform. And also, it's very, very important when it comes to any illness, anything that you have, to really have your doctors discuss your diagnosis. It's very, very important, because you want to know all the facts and what you can do, and then you can go down to get some resource on it, so that way you can have all the information that you have on any form of disease. Even like I said, I have thyroid, and it's still, I should think that you should educate on that also, because it's very important. What's the difference between hyper and hypo? Like I was hyper in the beginning because the reason why my levels are high, so that made me hyper. And I
Mm-hmm.
have no thyroid, and I had because I had thyroid cancer back in a long, long time ago. I've been cancer free for so many years. So when you're hypo, that means you have high levels of your TSH
Mm-hmm.
and other, and then the hypo, and when it goes back to hypo, that means that's low. And so that's the difference because now I'm back to normal. So I'm down at low.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not high anymore. But yeah, anything that you go through, ask, get all the details you can. Note takers are the best takers. That's what they say. You know, as we all say, when you take down the notes and you educate yourself on your diagnosis, and that will help you to understand why you're feeling this way, why you're having this pain to XYZ. You know, you just have to
Mm-hmm.
really go through. It's the homework. It's just like it's homework, just like if you're in school, homework, and that's the best thing to do.
Dolores, does it come back to you though? Will it come back where your levels are going to be? Because I notice every 3 years they have to adjust that thyroid pill. Will they have to adjust it again?
Yes, it can. It can do that because, like I said, this is the first time in so many years that I'm down to 100 microgram, and I used to be at 200 microgram, and then it flexed on me, and that happened to me several times, and uh, and I no wonder why, because it makes you feel foggy and
Mm-hmm.
you feel weak, and I was feeling my heart was racing because I was the hyper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now I'm at hypo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so yes, it can flex away. Everybody is different. Everybody as in the body is different. Because some people can probably still stay at the same level, and then some
Mm-hmm.
people still have to get adjusted to another level. So it just depends on the case.
Well, like you said, which is good, jot down some notes before you go and have an idea of how you want your time with the doctor to go. And make sure you talk about what you want to talk about, what you want to talk about, and ask questions and listen to the answers and follow up. That's so important. Jot down those notes before you go in there because once you go into um, that cubicle, the door closed, everything just vanishes. So, and I heard you say, but you leaped on that. So I was just giving more information on. Make sure you bring that notepad that you've already, put information on.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's very like I said, it's very very important that you address just like what Dr. Carvina was saying, like that. It's very, very important because you got to thoroughly understand your illness and do some studies because the doctor can give you like XYZ, something like that. But when you study your illness more, it's more better because you're getting more education and you'll like get that aha moment because you're like, aha, now this is why I'm feeling like this because
Mm-hmm.
you're educating yourself. And like
Mm-hmm.
the more educate this, like I was brought up, like my grandma used to tell me, to always get the education, to always to speak in an educational way, right? And she said always read your guidelines, any lines, anything. Yeah, always
Mm-hmm.
read all that, the dotted lines, anything. That's the way she had always said it to me. As because it's very, very important. She said it's very, very important that you get to
Mm-hmm.
understand it and you get the education.
Yeah, I was looking. Dr. Wynn suggests she's another doctor dealing with lupus way back when. Don't go into that office saying my chest hurts, and they do that. Oh, my side hurts, or this hurts. And you look, you got to tell the story. When did it start? That's what they ask you, and that's what you need to be aware of. If it's been painful before, what were you doing when you first felt it? How did it feel? How often do you feel the pain? Now that can really help clear things up, if a person is allowed to tell his story. So when I go into my doctor, I tell him that. First of all, these are the things. It started this time. It continues on every day. And I am in pain. Uh, And I know you don't give me any pain pills, not that I'm asking for, but I'm in pain, you know. You have to communicate with that doctor. You got to be straightforward and you got to open-ended. You have to have open-ended questions and be honest. If you feel you're not being heard, be honest. You know, you say, I'm worried that we aren't communicating. You can tell your doctor that. Here's why I feel that way. I need to talk to you about X. I feel like I can't. Can we talk about this? I know you're busy, but I need to talk about your Dr. X with you. Can we get some time on the calendar? Can you help me understand, doctor? Those are the things that you need to bring to the table to get a fair examination of what's going on. Dolores?
Yes, it's very, very important to have the communication with your physician. Very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you communicate, it's more to it. You have to go to the deep root of your problem. You just can't mask out the problem. If you have a problem with the X to the Z, then you're gonna tell him the whole 9 yards what's happening with your body, whoever, if it's her or she. You have to let them know thoroughly. I having this problem with, I having let's say example, I having chest pain, I cannot breathe, I having pain in my joints, I having swelling in my legs, I having headaches, whatever, XYZ, whatever, etc. It's very, very important to have that clearly communication. Very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a time where doctors did have time for their patients, but because so many patients, so many people are going into different insurances, they have to run. But there's some doctors that will take more time and listen to you. It's just like when I went into my doctor without my walker, he said, "Where your walker?" And I said, "I'm scared to death. You took a whole examination of my breast, and then you took a liquid thing on my breast, and they took this. I am scared to death." And he started. He said, "You are so truthful, Calvin." I said, "I'm scared." I said, "I know I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, but I am scared." And so he said, "Well, everything is benign. We're going to keep a lookout on that, though, because one breast is heavier than the other breast." I said, "Well, in the Black community, there's one breast always heavier than the other breast because that's where the baby sucked the breast." So he started laughing. I said, "That's true. That's in the Black community. There was one breast that child loved, and that child would stick with that breast." And that's and that's when he started smiling. And that's true. That's true. You got to remember that doctors can take the time if you if you truly communicate with them. And I mean, just hesitate like that. If you play a part in communicating with your doctor, I hear people say, "My doctor did this, no." And I say, "What did you do? What did you do? There's something you went in there and you did, and there's no need bawling them out or saying, 'I'm going to report him,' whatever. Why report someone and it's your fault because you haven't told him the whole problem? That man is there to help all of us. We don't want that man to go anywhere, that woman to go anywhere. So think before you use that pen to write somebody up. Because the grass, they talk about the grass greener on the other side. You will get somebody in here that you don't like. So you better, just work with that doctor. He knows you, because those are barriers to good communication with complaint. Sometimes I'm okay today. I'm like a 8, I'm like an 8, sometimes I'm a 10, as you know, but like right now I'm a 9. I'm a 9, and I know that. And I'm moody, and I know that. So the bottom line is, if there's a communication problem, it's probably up to you to fix it. And if you can't, you should always find a doctor that you feel that you can trust and think is listening to you. And that's what you need to find. If you have one of them doctor friends you could talk to, we have another doctor friend. I won't mention his name, but he does kidney dialysis. and he'll listen in a minute. You know, this is the problem. This is what they're not listening. But, you know, I haven't had that. I think where we're at right now is excellent because they've made all the appointments that I need from the psych care. Like I told you guys, the psych is not because you're crazy. It's because this disease will drive you into the outer limits, and it will. You know, when you can't sleep, take a sleeping pill, whatever. So you have to have that doctor that you can talk to. You have to be able to make lifestyle choices. You know, lack of physical activity, poor sleep habits, and unhealthy diets can contribute to fatigue. They can. My problem is I'm not eating, since I had that the flu, I'm not eating as much as I used to. You know, and that's not good. I'm supposed to eat something in my system. So, Dolores?
And the one thing what I'm going to be talking about too is fear could be the deep root of a lot of things. But let me explain what I when I'm talking about. When I talk about the deep root, that you really you're afraid to come out your comfort zone. But you got to come out your comfort zone, and you got to be open with communication because they
Mm-hmm.
just like they said. Example: a mouth don't get fed if you don't say anything. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to really open up. You have to open up about say, hey, I'm having this problem. I have this pain in my stomach or something like that. Because if you don't, then how would they be able to diagnose you right? And
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
why it's very, very important. You know, don't fear anything. Just trust in God and believe. Because one thing when you trust in God, even with me, I didn't like to hear a lot of things either like that. And to find out that thyroid without a thyroid that you can't live without a thyroid, but you can live longer with a pill. And so I
Mm-hmm.
said that number one, Jesus Christ is my savior. But number two, I live I call it my robot pill because
Mm-hmm.
that's the one that's going to operate me to help me to live longer because you cannot operate without a thyroid. So that's the fact with the meat of it. When I found out about that, I felt uncomfortable in the beginning, and then I said I just have to trust in God because I always was a Christ believer, you know. And God said, not you need to trust on me. You need to
Amen.
trust me. And I had to really
Amen.
pray about things, but I knew in the beginning it was uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
hear that. And I said, "Oh my goodness, I just felt like in the beginning, 'cause I was in my younger adult years. I said I just felt like I was just down in the dirt in the beginning, and then as I grew to learn that I'll be okay because God is on my side."
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, I found something, and it's on WebMD. It's a resource, ladies and gentlemen. And it says, which is great, I love this one. It says, um, is your fatigue constant or does it come and go? How long have you felt fatigued? Do you sometimes have periods when you aren't as fatigued? Does your fatigue get better with rest? Does your fatigue affect you physically? How does it affect you mentally? Can you tell me if you want to write something down for us about lifestyle, including work, diet, and physical activity? Because I've heard a lot of people went to work and they sleeping on the job, and the boss comes in, and this is the third time they did. They say they're fired. They're scared to tell their boss that they have lupus because they will get fired. You know, because the jobs take that as a liability, and I think that's so sad. You know, and because they let me know, Kevin, I can't tell them. I cannot tell them because I won't have a job and I won't be able to pay, you know, my necessities because I'm out here alone. You know, my family's back east and I need what I need. Another thing, we take prednisone, pain medicine, which I don't, antidepressants, blood pressure medicine, muscle relaxing, cold and allergy medicine. You ask your doctor if fatigue is a common side effect of anything you're taking. Ask him that because the medicines make sure they don't bounce off on that fatigue. Another thing I say, acupuncture is very good. I'm going to start that. 'Cause I used to have that a long time ago when I was in the Bay Area, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, and then the therapy. Ask your doctor, can you go to, not therapy, but can you go to um, uh, uh, water therapy? Ask them that. And that cools you down. If you have a free membership because of your hospitalization, your medical, take advantage of that. So that's so important. You got to take advantage of it. If you don't take advantage of it, just complain. And then what you have to do too with the fatigue is you have to plan your days so that you can get the most important things done first. And then you have to include times of rest in your day because we take cat naps, and make sure you do. You have to prioritize social and other activities so that you make those that are important to you and skip the rest. And that's what I do, where I can go here, but I can't go here. I can go here, I can't go here. And to the extent you can avoid stressful activities, stress can make your fatigue worse. Take breaks off. Tell people no. If they want you to do this, I had people call me, can you do my resume? Can you do this? Can you do half this book? Can you do no? That I'm not doing it. Get you a ghostwriter. Because I'm not doing it. I'm not taking on your problem. You want it, you pay somebody to do it for you. Therapy can help you think about your lupus and fatigue differently. And if you are able to learn to adjust your beliefs, it may actually help you manage the fatigue. My belief is in the Lord God. And what I do is I just take a breather and turn off TVs, turn on everything, read passages in the Bible and ask him, Lord, if you're there somewhere, please take this pain away from me. Please, because it's like you're not even here on earth when you have this kind of pain. It takes you to another level. So that's what I have to say about that. Do you have anything to add, Dolores?
Time and space is very important because you have to give your mental state of mind a rest, and your body. It's very very important because
Mm-hmm.
you just don't know if you because you don't want to fall out, you don't want to pass out. So it's time to
And you can.
and yes, you can, and you have to set that boundary. It's very important. It's not saying that you're being a mean person. If you
Mm-hmm.
if you need that time to rest, you gotta let the person know. I apologize for that, but I really need to.
Mm-hmm.
I need to rest in that. But can we get
Mm-hmm.
to it after I finish? If they say I
Mm-hmm.
want it done now, then say, hey, well, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do it because the fact I don't feel right. I need to rest.
Mm-hmm.
My health is important.
And
There's
you
nothing wrong with owning to take that respect to let people know. It's not being mean or rude. You just tell
mm-hmm.
them straight up you're not feeling right. If you're not
and
feeling
you
right, you don't feel like doing anything, and you should not have to be pushed to do it when you're not feeling well. That means they're just respecting you and your illness.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got to understand, you know, um, I was going to do this at the end, but by Albert Einstein, one quote he says is, we cannot solve problems with the kind of thinking we employed when we came up with them. And that's deep because you can take that in various ways, um, deep thinking, since he was a deep man. And then there was another quote I had, um, that I wanted to share with you. Get a book and read it. That's the best thing you can do. Get a book and read it. And that, to me, that just makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to have a motivational, have the word of God, have something that I know that is mine. Nobody can take it from me. And I'll be able to manage what I need to manage. Do you see what I'm saying? Just manage it, because success is not final. Failure is not fatal. This is Winston Churchill. It is the courage to continue that counts. And that hits it on the nail for us. The courage to continue.
A wise woman once told me that you got to wake up and smell the coffee in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. Anything that goes wrong in your life, you just gotta you gotta do is just really start to still continue to move
Mm-hmm.
forward in life because things happen for a reason. This
Mm-hmm.
reason of season in life, but we still can take the time to better ourselves later.
Yeah. Yeah. I love my quotes when Will Rogers said, "Don't let your yesterday take up too much of today," and that's what we tend to do. Don't let your yesterday take up too much of today, because you can't repeat. You can't repeat yesterday. You can't repeat today. It's gone. It's not going to come back. So live every moment to the fullest.
And
Ed, are you there?
continue to grow and learn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Continue to grow. Don't let naysayers come and whisper in your ear, "Oh, you know you can't do that. You know you're wrong. You can't do that." Well, what are you doing? That's like, what are you doing? Besides planting demon seeds in my ear. What are you doing? And matter of fact, I'm going to block you. If you continue to take me there. It's called block, BLOCK. And I will block you. And I'll block you on my phone too. I don't want to hear it. I tell people in a minute, with all the things that's going on, with trials, with people did this, people did that, that's not important to me. You knew what you did when you did it. What's important to me is helping that person get over, helping them with their sickness, with whatever autoimmune disease they have, helping them. And that is so important. We're not here long. We're just but a mist. And being that mist, we have to be that leader to make a difference in their lives. My legacy I would like to have is being the leader that being a leader by taking the chance to help those who couldn't help themselves. That's what I want to leave.
Yeah, do not allow anybody to break your spirit. Always
Uh-uh.
do not allow anybody to break your spirit.
That's right. That's
You're
right.
worth you are worth everything. You're a
Yeah,
blessing.
yeah, yeah. And positive notes that you put on the mirror, huh?
Yes. You put them on a mirror, you look in the mirror and you say them each day, believe me, you will grow to be I'll help you to be to feel good in life, to recognize that you are here for a reason, that you are worth it.
Did you
You
ever have a vision board? I did.
Yep, this vision boards. Yeah, I've done vision boards before, and also the best thing a vision board is a vision book. Vision books are the best because you can
Mm-hmm.
always go back and read it.
Mm-hmm.
And those are really neat. You could create it yourself.
Yeah, I have had the vision board, and I have had my writing journals from 30 years back. And my son told me, "Mama, don't you need to throw these away?" No. 30 years talking to God? Oh, no. That'd be a slap in his face. Leave it alone. Let me pack it away. Because it meant something. I kept all of that. And do you know when I went back to some of those 10 years back, it actually came true. It came to life. It came to life. It came
I
to life.
Yep. Amen. Yep, I do agree. Yeah, when you're writing positive things, people sometimes want you to throw things around. No, you don't throw away those things. It's a reason why you have it in those books. Prayer,
Mm-hmm.
prayers can go for a long ways. I still have some prayers in my books too that I found a long, long time ago, and stuff. And you can find out how you're growing in life too. And I noticed. I said, "Oh wow!" I said, "One did come to surface," because and I wrote it several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I am doing it now today.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. And, you need to have that because nothing can be done without hope and confidence. And Helen Keller said that. I used to watch her movies all the time because she was very, just positive, positive. I don't know. I think Helen was blind. I keep going back. She's blind. I might be wrong, but I'm thinking that Helen Keller was blind. But anyway, Edward,
Yep, I'm here.
we wanted to ask also about the walk. Is that something you're still working on?
Yeah, the Lupus Walk. I'm finalizing it this week so we can get it going. Um, and I was thinking a time when we can do it. It's a virtual walk that we're going to be doing, and it'll give us opportunity to select whatever location or destination, and we can do that. Actually,
Just come up with a date. You know, you don't have to be pushed here.
yeah,
Just
we'll
come
come
up.
up with the dates, but yeah, I already have the system that we can use to do the virtual walk
See,
with.
everyone's going to be fun.
Right.
It's
So
going to
we
be fun.
communicate, everybody participate. We'll send out the link so everybody can join in. Uh,
Mhm.
we can do the virtual walk that way, and this will give us a particular location that we're going to select in the virtual walk. So,
And if anyone wants to give donations, they
and
can
then
come
give
directly to
donations
you.
right to lupusinnevada.org.
Mhm.
Is where you can go to start sending out the donations to that address, as well as just kind of sharing this and passing the buck and sharing the information with everybody you know. This is going to support the organization. It's going to support the people in the local communities, and that'll help everybody to get the information and get the proper information that they need, so they can continue to grow. And so that's what we want to do, is just give us more awareness, get people more involved, and then also
Website.
help
Yeah,
people
get
who
on
are
the
in need.
website. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and in
I'm
the time, we'll
excited.
give you the time and the date and how long the walk will be.
I am
Uh,
excited.
and
Excited.
so, yeah, it's going to be a great opportunity for everybody to participate. This will be our first virtual walk we've done at Lupus in Nevada, but this will be a good opportunity for everybody across the country, as well as around the world, to participate and join in with us.
Hmm.
So,
Great, 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 great. I like to hear that, because we want this to be a success because it's all about all of us. It's
hmm
all about all of us. We never know when someone will get, you know, stricken with whatever autoimmune disease. We never know. As we get older, our bodies change. Environmental hazards, toxicity, stress. We don't know what, is going to happen to us.
that is correct. That is correct. So, um, any last words, ladies, before we close out?
Well, I just thank God. All I want to say, I thank God for helping me with what's going on in my body now. I feel much better, but
Congratulations. I'm
this
glad to
past
hear that.
this bad, that Ed called me, and Dolores, my family, called me. I could not move. I could not move. He had to put blankets and pillows under my arms, and it hurts at nighttime. It gets real bad at night,
Mm,
because I couldn't turn on the right, couldn't turn on the left. He brought me water in. He said, "You gotta drink this. You gotta drink this. You gotta drink this
right.
juice." And from there to there, I lost a lot of weight. I'm gonna tell y'all that, lots of it. You've seen me, haven't you, Ed?
Yeah, yeah, you have. You have. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have.
lots of weight, and all I want to get down is to a regular weight. And
Yeah, I've lost weight too, so I feel better.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If I get down with my 5'9" to 195, I'm cool. And
Okay.
I'm probably that way now because I can get into right now. I get in those 14s now. And those
Oh,
other
wow.
pants I have, yeah. I don't want to get too thin because um, I need the weight to help me when I go into surgical procedures and everything.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I
So,
want to say thank you for that input. And Dolores, any last words you want to share?
Continue to love yourself and do something for yourself each day, no matter how you feel, and that will help you to continue to appreciate life, no matter what throws stones or anything in your way.
naysayers, that's right.
Great.
Okay.
Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
all for this edition of Lupus Talks. Again, support the cause by going to lupusinnevada.org, And also subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we also have this also on the website, this video. And so until next week, we'll see you guys again every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 4 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, where we have Ms. Calvini Williams and Ms. Dolores Olson both sharing on how to address the things that's going on with lupus. And you guys take care. Have a blessed afternoon and keep building the dream.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Indeed.